Thank you so much for joining today. To start class, we'll come down into that comfortable seated position. You can bring a pillow or a block under your hips. It's a crisscross applesauce, so you can send your legs out long. Sometimes I like to bend my knees and just let my arms rest on top of my knees. But wherever you're at, we're allowing our spine to be lengthened. Our sit bones grounding into the place that's supporting us. I invite you to close your eyes or maybe to simply soften your gaze as we start to come into this space that we've carved out for ourselves today in this present moment. We'll take a moment to start to scan the body, noticing our energy levels, whether we're feeling full of spit and vinegar or feeling a little low energy today. Not judging either way, just simply bringing our awareness and offering it our breath and space. We'll then take a moment to notice the muscles and joints of the body. Noticing if there's any aches today, any pains, anything that wants our attention. And once again, we'll offer it our breath without judgment. We'll then begin to notice the breath itself, noticing where the breath is entering, either at the nose or the mouth. Following it as it transverses down the windpipe into the lungs, expanding the rib cage in all directions. And then slowly winds its way back out on the exhale. Maybe even notice the temperature of the air as it comes in and out. And any subtle shifts in temperature. That a focus on our breath, we'll start to get into our breathing exercise for today. The 3-part breath. For the 3-part breath, we want to imagine our lungs in 3 separate areas. And as we breathe in, we'll start to fill the lower part, the abdomen expands, and then we take a short pause. We'll then continue to inhale, letting the rib cage expand, and take another short pause. Finally, inhaling so much that the collarbones start to rise. And once you can't take in any more air, we'll take a slow, steady exhale, allowing all the air to start to release. And then we'll take that for a few more rounds on our own. Breathing in, pausing, inhale, pause, inhale, slow, steady, exhale. And we'll continue for that on our own for a few cycles of breath. Really allowing ourselves to focus on the function of the breath. Breath is an amazing job at calming the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system and taking us to that place of rest. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, slow, steady, exhale. Our life is a never-ending journey. We learn so much about the world and ourselves along the way. We can allow ourselves to get so fixated on a destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. Not to say that we shouldn't have dreams or goals, because we definitely should, but rather that we can take a breath and embrace where we are on the path of our journey right now, rather than being focused on what lies ahead or in the future. Can we soften into the here and now? We learn so much on the journey. The ultimately will make us who we are when we reach the destinations. But really, the journey is the destination. So as we take a few last breaths here in our grounding moment, see if you can let go of your ideas of that imagined future or destination, and start to drop into the beauty of where you are on your path right now. Wonderful job. We'll take one last deep breath here as we offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude for taking a moment on your journey to slow down, focus inward. And then as you're ready, allow your eyes to flutter open, wiggle fingers and toes, maybe come into a crisscross applesauce if you chose a different option. And we'll start to add just a little bit of movement into our practice. Let's inhale, circle the arms out wide, and then bring them up and overhead. Reach them up and start to look up. And then with our exhale, we're going to cactus the arms, bringing the elbows into that 90-degree bend as we pull our heart forward, squeeze the shoulder blades back, and take our gaze up. Beautiful job. Inhale to circle arms up. And with our next exhale, bring hands through heart center in a prayer pose. We'll pause here. You can leave the eyes open or close them, but take a moment to set an intention, something you'd like to connect with during our practice today. You may want to connect with your breath or the movement, or simply allowing yourself to be present through the journey today. Maybe even tapping into a little bit of joy. We'll take a deep breath to seal in our intention. Great job. And then allow your hands to relax. We'll come down onto our back. So feel free to remove any props you might have. And then curl down onto your back. We'll hug the knees in towards the chest. And let's take a rock from side to side. Giving yourself a nice gentle massage. Beautiful. With our next inhale, allow the feet to start to lift up as we come into a happy baby, letting the knees fall out to the side. You could find stillness here, or if you'd like to add a little movement, feel free to straighten and bend the knees, rock from side to side, anything that feels good as we start to move through our body and notice how it's feeling today. Alrighty. Go ahead and release your legs into a constructive rest. And then we'll hug the right knee in towards the torso. Now you can keep this left knee bent with the foot on the floor, we can send it out long, whichever feels better for your lower spine and back. Alrighty, as we hug this right knee in towards our chest, let's start to take some ankle circles, going in one direction a couple of times. And then reverse it. All right, go ahead and pause there, and then we'll find half happy baby on just this side. You can hold anywhere from your foot, your ankle, your leg, or even just behind your thigh as you draw that knee outside the body. Noticing how it feels and being mindful to keep that left hip neutral and not popping up. Notice how this feels on the right side to concentrate the movement on this hip. Great job, release that. And let's inhale, bringing left knee in. We'll start with the ankle rolls. And then we'll reverse them. Beautiful job. Next, inhale, half happy baby. Allowing that knee to fall outside the left rib cage this time. Great job. With our next inhale, we'll release into our constructive rest. And then let's take the right ankle across the left ankle into a figure four. We'll allow the knee to open. You can keep that left leg bent, or for a different option, you can send it long, opening up flat. So either option could be a great option here. You could also start to lift that left foot into a 90-degree bend at the knee. And draw the shin a little closer to your heart. So finding the figure four that feels good for you, but making sure to keep that left foot flexed the entire time. Beautiful job. One last breath here. Maybe draw it a little closer if you have the leg off the floor. And then exhale to release, constructive rest. Inhale, left leg, figure four. Left knee falls out to the side. And then same thing here. The side might feel different, so you might want to change whether you do exactly the same thing or you change it up a little bit. But we're checking in, making sure everything feels good, and asking ourselves if it doesn't, how we can make it feel better, and then simply choosing to do that. We'll take one last breath in our figure four of choice. Again, maybe if you have your foot off the ground, you're going to draw the shin in a little bit closer on that last breath. Exhale to release, constructive rest. And then gently windshield wiper the knees, a little left to right, resetting the hips and glutes. And then we'll find ourselves coming up into a seated position. Maybe taking a rock and roll along the spine or rolling to one side, whichever feels better for us. As we sit up tall, we'll start to send the right leg over towards the right side and tuck that left shin or foot inside the leg. We'll inhale, we'll circle the arms up and overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn towards our bent knee, towards the left leg. And we're going to start to hinge our chest a little closer towards that knee. Now you can keep your hands on your leg. You can bring them out into the mat in front of you and let your head and dangle. Or you could even bring a block under your hands for a little more support. Not only noticing what's happening in the lower body, but also in the abdominals, in the back. Beautiful. Our next inhale circles arms up and overhead. Maybe we look up. And then with our exhale, we're going to take it into a side bend towards the extended leg. So you can take a block outside of the leg. You can bring your hand to the leg or to the floor. But as you start to hinge over towards that side, you extend the left arm up and overhead, drawing the shoulder back. Gaze can be up or down. And then with our next exhale, take the left hand, the one that's reaching towards the sky, and drop it down towards that extended leg, allowing your torso to twist towards that leg, and then hinge even deeper into that forward fold. Beautiful. We'll inhale to come back through center, circling arms up, maybe looking up. And with our next exhale, let's bring those hands down through a prayer and switch sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we hinge towards the bent knee. Noticing how that feels along the left side of the body. Inhaling through center, looking up. Exhale, side bend towards the extended leg. Great job. Inhale to, staying where you are. We exhale to drop the top hand towards the extended leg, turning the torso as we hinge towards the foot. Inhale to come through center, arms up. With our exhale, we're going to cactus the arms. Inhale, take it up, and then go ahead and draw it down through your heart center. This time we're going to take that left leg, we're going to bring it into a butterfly pose, letting both knees open wide. You can stay up tall through the spine, or maybe you start to hinge forward, bringing hands or elbows to the floor or to a prop. Great job. Walk your hands back towards your hips if you lean forward, coming back up to your straight spine. And then we'll push our knees together and then come on over into a tabletop, bringing the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. As we settle into this tabletop, we're straightening through the spine. We're inhaling as our belly starts to pull up, rounding into an angry cat. And then as you exhale, drop the belly, cow pose. Take this on your own. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You're doing a beautiful job. Keep it up. All righty, let's go ahead and pause in our tabletop. And then we're going to take our right leg and extend it behind us, tucking the toes, pressing through the calf as we push the heel away from us. Notice that beautiful opening through the back of the calf. And then as we inhale, bring that right knee outside of the right hand in a lizard lunge. Walk the left knee back. You can stay high on the hands. You can have props under the hands or elbows if you want to lower down into a resting lunge. And then you can stay on the sole of that right foot, or maybe allow it to roll to the outer edge as you let the knee open to the side. Dropping the hips towards the floor, a little or a lot. Great job. If you rolled onto the side of the foot, go ahead and bring the sole of the foot back, and then we'll step it back into tabletop. From here, let's take the left foot back. Calf stretch, press through the heel of the foot as you tuck the toes behind you. As always, you can find stillness here, or maybe it feels better to rock in and out over the ball of your foot. Great job. All right, last breath here. And our next inhale brings left knee towards left elbow into our lizard lunge. We're sending that right leg back as we drop our hips down. Again, you can stay up high on the hands or drop to the elbows. And you can stay on the sole of the foot or rotate out to the side left edge, letting the knee fall out to the side. Beautiful job. Let's bring it back through center, tabletop pose. Wonderful job. From here, let's make our way into a standing mountain pose. We'll come into our mountain pose. Weight equally distributed through both legs. And then inhale, circle arms up, reach them up, really look up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. See if you can lengthen a little bit more. Really reach those fingertips as high as you can. And then with our exhale, we'll bring our hands to a prayer as we slice through the air in a forward fold. Letting the hands rest on the floor or maybe a prop. Let there be a generous bend in your knees. Maybe shake your head yes and no. And then let's press into our hands to halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Pause at the halfway lift for just a moment. And then we're going to take the palm of our left and the right hand. We're going to place it at the crease of our thigh muscle where the thigh and the hip meets. We're going to begin to press the ball of the hand into the top of each thigh as we work the arms as straight as we possibly can. And maybe notice a tractioning in the vertebrae of the lower spine. Great job. Exhale to release, forward fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, take a slow roll, coming all the way up to standing. Circle arms up, tall mountain, really high. Take up as much length here, pulling fingertips and toes in different directions. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, tall mountain, and then let's bring it back to our prayer at heart center. Taking a moment with eyes opened or closed to check in with your intention that you set for today. Beautiful job. Our next exhale releases hands by our hips. And then let's take the left foot back as we come into a high lunge position. We're going to bend through both knees. You can keep your hands on your hips or on a prop. You could bring them to a prayer. Or if you want to come into crescent lunge, you can take them up high in the air. We're going to take just a moment here, maybe with our next exhale, sink it down a little bit deeper. And then with our next inhale, straighten both legs, arms lift up. And then with an exhale, we're going to hinge over that front leg into a pyramid pose over that front leg. You're noticing the stretch strongly in the knee, just bring a bend to the knee, which will move the muscle or the stretch into the muscle. Great job. With our next inhale, we come back to our crescent of choice. Exhale, cactus, sink it a little deeper. Inhale, step it up into your mountain pose. Let's take that on the opposite side. Right side steps back, high lunge. Take a moment to make sure your foundation is good here. And when you're ready, finding the crescent lunge of your choice. Exhale, sink it a little deeper. Inhale, straighten both legs, lift those arms overhead. Exhale, hinge over the front leg. Beautiful job. Inhale back through your crescent lunge of choice. Exhale, sink it in a little deeper. Take a cactus arms. Inhale, step it up, mountain pose. Alrighty, just like the journey of life, sometimes you have to go through things multiple times. So today we're gonna take that theory with things. We're gonna start with those two first poses we just did. We're gonna add on. I'm gonna come back through it on both sides, and then we'll keep on that journey for just a few minutes. So feel free to take it at your own pace, and as you get more familiar with where we're going, allow it to be more of a flow, maybe even enjoying the journey today. Let's step the right foot back or side one. Inhale, crescent lunge of your choice. With our exhale, we're gonna sink it a little deeper, take that cactus. Inhale, straighten both legs. Hinge into your forward fold. Inhale, crescent lunge or high lunge. And from here, we're gonna drop that back heel, begin to open the hips as we take it wide into a warrior two. As I exhale, I drop my back hand to the back hip or the back leg, reversing our warrior. And then as I inhale, I'm gonna spiral the arms, front hand or elbow comes to the front knee, side angle. Great job. Inhale back through your warrior two. We're gonna take that back heel, we're gonna lift it as we turn ourselves towards the front of our space, and then step the back foot in. And let's take that sequence on the other side. Side two steps back, crescent lunge. Once our foundation is set up, we're feeling strong and steady. Exhale, cactus, deepen the lunge. Inhale to straighten everything, lengthen. Exhale to hinge and forward fold. Noticing how it feels a little different on this side maybe than it did on the other side. Inhale, high lunge or crescent lunge of choice. Exhale, warrior two. Opening up to the side, arms spread wide as that back heel circles down. Great job. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Our exhale takes us to side angle. Inhale through your warrior two. Exhale, high lunge. Step it up. You're doing a great job with this flow. Let's take it one more time, adding just a couple more poses in. Step it back, high lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, cactus, sink it in a little deeper. Inhale, straighten everything long. Exhale to hinge, fold over that front leg. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, straighten through that front leg, reverse your warrior. Exhale, arms come to a T. You can either keep the back foot where it is or hop it in just a little bit. And then we're gonna pull the front fingertips forward for triangle pose. Exhaling to drop them down towards a prop or our leg as we stack wrist and shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, bringing arms back to a T. And then with our exhale, we're gonna come into high lunge, lifting that back heel, swinging the back arm forward to your high lunge. Step it in. Alrighty. Last time, second side. Step it back. High lunge, crescent lunge of choice. You know where we're going. Maybe see if you can start to allow yourself to enjoy the journey. Exhale, cactus as we bend a little deeper through the knees. Inhale to lengthen both legs and arms. Exhale to hinge, pyramid pose. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful job. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, straight leg, reverse your warrior. Now bring your arms out wide to a T. Again, you're welcome to step the back foot in if your stance is a little wide for triangle. And then as you want to, pull those front fingertips forward until they can't reach any further. Exhale, triangle pose. Dropping the front hand towards the leg or a prop. Stacking wrists and shoulders. Keeping that back hip pulled up. Doing a beautiful job. All right. Inhale to come back through your arms to a T. Step the back or lift the back heel. High lunge. Step it in. Mountain pose. Beautiful flow sequences today. All righty. We just have one balance challenge before we move on to our cool down portion. So we'll stand in our mountain pose. We'll inhale to circle arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Press into the hands to halfway lift. From here, we're going to just pause in this halfway lifted position. And then start to shift your weight to the left foot and reach the right toes behind you, lifting them off the floor a little or a lot into our warrior three. We're keeping our hands grounded for stability here. And then just like we opened up the hip going from crescent lunge into warrior two, we're going to start to open our hip here and then peel the right hand, the same hand as the lifted leg, up towards the ceiling for half moon pose. Stacking wrist and shoulders. Great job. Work that hand down towards your prop, coming back through your warrior through. Great job. Drop both feet to the mat. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll take that to the other side, shifting the weight back on that left foot or the opposite foot. Warrior three. And then as you're ready, start to open up the hips, lifting arms stacked just like triangle pose, but in half moon. Keep a bend in your standing leg. And as gracefully as you can, start to drop the hand back down towards your prop, warrior three. Exhale to drop the foot. And then with our next inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Alrighty, for our last active pose, we're going to find a downward dog variation. So you're welcome to take it on a wall or a chair or any other prop you'd like. Or if you like your downward dogs on the floor, That is always an option as well. We'll bring our hands about shoulder distance apart. Begin to walk your hips back. Pedaling through the legs, you're creating that familiar V shape no matter what surfaces you're using. And then start to find just a little bit of stillness. We'll shift our weight to the right, lift that left foot up off the floor, bend the knee, open the hip, stacking them, just like in that half moon pose. And then send it back out long, three-legged dog. With our next inhale, we're gonna draw the knee towards the nose. We're gonna pause there and then shoot it out to the opposite side of the room, letting it come down onto the outer edge of the foot in a fallen triangle pose. This can be a really nice stretch to that outer IT band. Great job. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward dog. All right, let's take it on the other side. Inhale, other side lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, send it long. Exhale, knee to nose and hover. And then shoot the leg over to the opposite side, letting it rest on the side of the foot, taking that IT band stretch. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. We'll begin to look up towards our hands and then walk ourselves into an upright position. Feel free to roll out the wrists if you'd like. And then as we inhale, we'll take the arms wide. We did a lot of work in our lower body today, so we're just gonna take one last stretch in our upper body. We're gonna take the right arm under the left arm. We're gonna give ourselves a great big hug, or take it into our eagle arm variation of choice. Either backs of hands, fronts of hands, or strap between the hands. Lots of options here. We're keeping our spine straight. Doing a beautiful job. Take one more breath here. Exhale to release. Let's take the left arm under the right, switching it up. Keeping spine straight and lengthened. As we feel our shoulder blades pulling apart here. Beautiful job. Let's exhale to release. Inhale, circling arms up and overhead. And then with our exhale, we're gonna sink like we're about to sit into a chair pose. We're gonna pause there for just a moment. And then with our next exhale, come on down closer to the ground, coming into a toe pose or a toe stand. Lifting, you can have props under your hands for a little more support, but see if you can lift both heels, coming in almost into a ball shape here, or a squat. Great job. And then let's find ourselves coming down all the way to the mat. We'll send the legs out long. You're welcome to bring a prop under your hips here. We're gonna be in a seated staff for a moment, so you're welcome to grab your strap if you'd like to use that. We'll inhale, circle those arms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, slice through the air with your prayer as you begin to hinge and forward fold. Hands can rest anywhere along the legs, the floor, the ankles, the feet, or your strap wrapped around the bottoms of your feet. And as always, if you want to use a strap but don't have an actual yoga strap, belt from a robe, a tie,
A belt of any sort really works great. Even a scarf, a winter scarf can be a nice option. A little softer for the hands. All right, with our next inhale, go ahead and roll on up to a straight spine. We're gonna keep the right leg long, but then we're gonna take and cross the left leg over. Now you can cross it at the ankles or cross it at the knees. You can even start to walk that top leg and bring a bend into it, stacking the knees in a half shoelace pose. Keeping the spine long, or maybe hinging the heart towards the leg. Great job. With our inhale, we'll come back through center. We'll take that leg and uncross it, letting the sole of the foot come down to the floor. And then let's take it into a sage twist, bringing our hand behind us. As we twist towards that bent knee, we can capture it with our elbow, twisting towards the opposite shoulder. Great job. Exhale to release, send that leg long. Inhale, find the cross of the half shoelace on this side. Lengthening the spine or hinging forward. Inhale to come back to a straight spine, sage twist. So we bring that foot inside of the thigh. We take our opposite shoulder and elbow as we hook it over the knee. Taking our hand behind us for support on the floor or on a prop, we twist towards that shoulder. Amazing job. All right, let's exhale to release through center. We'll send both legs long. We'll begin to point the fingertips away from us. We'll engage through our core. And as we exhale, slowly roll one vertebra at a time down to the mat. Once the shoulders arrive, circle the hands overhead. Take that full body stretch, reaching fingers and toes in opposite directions. Really take up all the space here as you draw yourself like you're being quartered almost. And then with our exhale, we'll allow the hands to come to rest by our hips. We'll bring the soles of the feet into a constructive rest, and then let them meet as you allow the knees to open up wide into a reclined butterfly position. You're always welcome to bring some props under your knees for a little added support here. Beautiful job. One last breath here. And then with our next inhale, we'll allow our hands down by our thighs to bring the knees together. We'll then draw the knees towards our chest. And you can take a little rock and roll here, left to right or along the spine. And let's end class where we started it. We'll start to lift the feet in a half happy baby. Again, you can find stillness, allowing the lower back to spread against the mat. Or maybe during this portion of the journey, you want to find a little playfulness, a little yogi playtime. Moving in any way that feels authentic to your body. Any way you want to move in the last few moments of our class. We'll take about 3 breaths here. As you sink into that last breath, just take a moment to check in with the difference of how this feels from when we started the class here. And then as you're ready, we'll release the legs. And we'll find ourselves coming into our final resting pose of choice. As always, constructive rest makes a great option. You could add pillows, blocks, or blankets, or even a sweater, socks. But feel free to take any movement you need right now in this moment so that you can come into a relaxed position. Maybe you close your eyes, or maybe you simply soften your gaze. As we settle in here, we'll take a deep breath here, and then we'll pause at the top. Take in one more sip of air. We'll pause. One more sip of air, taking our last 3-part breath of today's class. We slowly exhale, transitioning inward, noticing that internal landscape. Not trying to change or alter your breath, but allowing your eyelids to grow heavier, your muscles to soften and melt into the surfaces that are supporting you today. Every step we've taken has led you to this moment, right here and right now. Take this moment to honor how far you've come in your journeys. When I think of my life, I've realized it is a constant state of becoming, taking steps blindly into the unknown and growing as I do. Sometimes without even realizing. It's like the journey of the butterfly, beginning as a caterpillar, then making its chrysalis, and then waiting patiently and growing until it is strong enough to break free from its chrysalis, and then turns to the beautiful butterfly that was always within. Wherever we are on that path in the journey of life, know that we're always right where we're supposed to be. We can only be lost or even off track if we are headed somewhere in particular. We can allow ourselves to get so fixated on our destinations, on what we think our path is supposed to look like, or we get stuck comparing our path to another's. But the truth is that there is not a correct path. There is no timeline to our becoming. But over time, I've learned to trust each moment, however difficult, however joyful, knowing that's where I am supposed to be. We can all learn to love where we are on our path. It's human nature to be goal-driven, to keep your eyes on the prize. And when you do, you forget to enjoy the journey along the way. We can remember to love the ground upon which we stand right now. I'm not saying to give up or let go of goals, but rather to let ourselves fall in love with where we are on our journey as well. There is so much beauty in each step. Can we learn to love the process? Can we learn to love our unfolding? Let us love the unveiling of who we are in each moment. Bow to every step you've taken to get to where you are today. Bow to the leaps and bounds you've made, the missteps too. We can honor every part of our journey. Sometimes we only tend to celebrate the wins, but can you consider that even the losses are wins? We can celebrate it all and honor everything, or we will get stuck in the illness of only loving ourselves when we are at our best. Conditional love is no love at all. But you can honor your journey fully and completely. It is what makes you unique and beautiful. As we take a few more breaths lingering here, bring to mind your life's journey thus far. Contemplate how every single moment and every single step has shaped you into the person you are right now. Beautiful job today. With our next inhale, we'll take the deepest breath of our day so far, allowing yourself to come back into the present moment in the room that you're in. Once again, noticing the air that's around your body and the surfaces that you're resting on. And then when you're ready, start to add a little gentle movement. Maybe flutter the eyes open and take your own time. Find your own way and start to come up to an upright position facing me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful journey this week ahead of you and that you take moments to find joyfulness, appreciating the process and not just longing for the destinations. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.